Brothers and sisters, we gather here today in search of guidance, inspiration, and a reminder of the greatness of Allah's plan for each of us. Sometimes life feels uncertain and our thoughts can become clouded with doubts, fears, and confusion, but Allah, in His infinite mercy, has blessed us with a timeless source of wisdom, the Qur'an. The words of Allah are not just words, they are powerful forces that can transform our minds, our hearts, and ultimately our lives. The words of Allah, as revealed in the Qur'an, are a source of guidance, comfort, and transformation. They carry a power beyond human comprehension, a power that can reach into the depths of our hearts, change the course of our lives, and renew our perspectives. In a world filled with noise, distractions, and confusion, the Qur'an stands as a timeless beacon of clarity. It is not just a book to be read, it is a divine message that speaks directly to our souls, offering us the wisdom we need to navigate our challenges, make decisions, and align ourselves with the truth. Allah's words are unique in their ability to transform our thoughts. The Qur'an is not merely a collection of stories or commandments, it is a living, breathing guide that speaks to every individual at every stage of life. Each verse carries within it a message perfectly tailored to the moment in which it is heard. Sometimes when we read the Qur'an, we may not fully understand the depth of its meanings. But as we go through the different seasons of our lives, the same words that once seemed distant or unclear can suddenly resonate deeply with us, offering clarity in moments of confusion and peace in times of turmoil. This is the power of the Qur'an. It is a book that can heal, comfort, and guide, but only if we open our hearts to it. Allah says in the Qur'an, "Indeed, this Qur'an guides to that which is most suitable." Al-Isra 17:9. The Qur'an is not a book of abstract theory or vague ideas, it is practical, direct, and relevant to the challenges we face every single day. Whether we are dealing with personal struggles, relationship difficulties, or seeking meaning in our work, Allah's words provide us with the direction we need to lead a life of purpose and fulfillment. When we feel lost, the Qur'an helps us find our way back to Allah. When we feel broken, it offers the hope of healing. The power of Allah's words is also seen in their ability to shift our mindset. In moments of doubt or despair, we might question our ability to overcome obstacles. Our thoughts may become clouded with fear or negativity. Yet when we reflect upon the verses of the Qur'an, we are reminded of the infinite mercy and power of Allah. For example, when we read the verse, "So truly where there is hardship, there is also ease." Ash-Shar 94:6, we are reminded that no difficulty is permanent, and that with every hardship comes the promise of ease. This simple reminder can have a profound impact on our mindset, transforming feelings of helplessness into hope. The Qur'an does not simply give us answers, it helps us cultivate the right mindset. It teaches us to see beyond the immediate challenges and trust in Allah's wisdom. It teaches us to be patient, to endure, and to maintain hope even when things don't go as planned. This transformation of the mind is key to navigating life's difficulties. When we internalize the messages of the Qur'an, our thoughts are no longer limited to what we can see with our physical eyes, but rather expand to encompass the unseen. Allah's divine plan, His mercy, and His promise of eventual relief. When we allow the Qur'an to take root in our hearts, it doesn't just change the way we think, it changes the way we see the world. The way we respond to challenges shifts. Our anxieties, worries, and doubts begin to fade as we recognize that we are never truly alone. Allah is always with us, guiding us, protecting us, and showing us the way. The Qur'an helps us reframe our experiences and see them through the lens of faith, hope, and trust in Allah's plan. The Qur'an, in its infinite wisdom, speaks to us at the most pivotal moments of our lives. Allah, in His boundless mercy, does not simply send guidance for a particular time or place, but provides us with timeless wisdom that can be applied to any situation we may find ourselves in. The beauty of the Qur'an lies in its ability to address not only the generalities of life, but also the specifics of every person's experience. We may read a verse at one point in our life and not fully grasp its depth, but at a different time, when we are faced with a particular challenge or emotion, that same verse will resonate deeply, providing the precise guidance and peace we need. This is the essence of how Allah's guidance is always perfectly timed and tailored to our needs. Allah's wisdom is such that He knows exactly when we need His guidance the most. It is not uncommon for us to find ourselves feeling lost, uncertain, or overwhelmed by the circumstances around us. Yet it is during these moments of weakness and confusion that Allah sends His words of reassurance, reminding us that no matter how difficult things may seem, there is always a way forward, and His mercy will never abandon us. Allah's signs appear when we need them most, often in ways we cannot even begin to imagine. It could be through the recitation of a verse that strikes a chord with our hearts, a chance encounter with a person who offers us advice, or even a dream that directs us toward the right path. These are not coincidences, they are divine signs that guide us back to the right path when we feel ourselves drifting. One of the most profound aspects of the Qur'an is how it gently corrects our perspective on life. When we are caught up in the demands of the world, our ambitions, fears, and desires, it's easy to lose sight of the bigger picture. We often fail to see the hidden wisdom behind the events unfolding in our lives. But Allah, in His infinite kindness, does not leave us to navigate life's storms alone. Instead, He sends reminders through His words, urging us to turn to Him for guidance, trust in His plan, and maintain our faith despite the trials. A verse that once seemed irrelevant or disconnected may suddenly become the very answer to the questions we've been carrying in our hearts. This is Allah's way of letting us know that His wisdom is perfect, that every moment, every struggle, every joy is part of a plan greater than we can fully understand. Moreover, Allah's words come when we least expect them, often during moments of great distress or confusion. It is in these very moments that His signs shine the brightest, as they provide us with clarity when everything around us seems uncertain. Allah says in the Quran, "Indeed, Allah is the best of planners." Ali Imran 354. This is a reminder that even when we are unable to see the way forward, Allah is in control of every circumstance, every situation. His plan for us is always better than what we can imagine for ourselves. It is in these moments of surrender, when we stop fighting against the unknown and place our trust in Him, that Allah's plan begins to unfold before us, often in ways that bring us peace and reassurance. At times, the guidance of the Quran comes through subtle signs, an event that leads us to a better understanding, a prayer answered in the most unexpected way, or even a feeling of comfort and peace during a time of hardship. These are signs that Allah has set in motion to remind us of His presence, His wisdom, and His care for us. He knows exactly when we need these signs, and He sends them in His perfect timing. By recognizing these signs, we can begin to see how Allah's guidance is not limited to grand events, but is present in the smallest details of our lives, providing us with direction and reassurance when we need it most. Surrendering to Allah's plan is one of the most profound acts of faith that we can practice. It requires a deep level of trust, a willingness to let go of our own desires, and the acceptance that Allah knows what is best for us. This surrender is not a sign of weakness, but rather a demonstration of the strength of our belief that Allah's will is always superior to our own limited understanding. In every aspect of our lives, we are constantly presented with choices and challenges, many of which we cannot fully control. At times we might feel disoriented, unsure of the path we should take. Yet in these very moments of uncertainty, Allah calls us to trust Him completely, to place our lives in His hands, and to rely on His divine wisdom. Allah's plan for us is not always what we expect or what we desire. We may pray for something earnestly, hoping that it aligns with our goals and aspirations, but when it does not come to pass, we might feel disappointed or even frustrated. It is during these times that we are tested in our faith. We are called to remember that Allah's wisdom surpasses our understanding. Allah reminds us in the Quran, "And it may be that you dislike something although it is good for you, or you like something although it is bad for you. And Allah knows while you do not know." Al-Baqarah 2:216. This verse serves as a powerful reminder that what we want and what we need may not always be the same. Sometimes Allah withholds something from us not because He is being harsh, but because He knows that it would not be beneficial for us in the long run. In those moments, surrendering to Allah's will means accepting that what we are going through is part of His plan, and we may not always be able to see the larger picture. Trusting in Allah's plan requires patience. Patience is not just about waiting for the outcome we desire, it is about maintaining faith and peace in the midst of uncertainty. It means knowing that Allah will never abandon us, even when we feel lost or helpless. Allah promises in the Quran, "So be patient. Indeed, the promise of Allah is truth." Aram 30:60. Our patience is a reflection of our trust in Allah's timing and His control over every aspect of our lives. Even when things seem to be going wrong, we know that they are part of the process of growth and refinement. Surrendering to Allah's plan also involves gratitude. It is easy to be grateful when things are going well, when we are achieving success and our desires are being fulfilled. But true surrender comes when we can also be thankful during times of hardship, when things seem to be falling apart, and we feel uncertain about the future. Gratitude in these moments does not mean pretending that everything is perfect. It means acknowledging that every situation, whether good or bad, has a purpose in Allah's plan. Allah says in the Quran, "If you are grateful, I will surely increase your favor upon you." Ibrahim 14:7. Even in times of difficulty, we can find reasons to be grateful. This gratitude is a powerful form of surrender. It signifies our recognition that Allah's plan, even in its trials, is filled with wisdom and mercy. Furthermore, surrendering to Allah's plan requires us to remain active in our faith. It is not enough to simply submit without effort. We must continue to make dua, supplication, pray, and do our best to follow the path of righteousness. Trusting Allah's plan does not mean being passive, it means taking action while fully relying on Him for the outcomes. We put in the effort, but we leave the results in His hands. This balance between action and trust is the key to experiencing peace and contentment. Knowing that we are fulfilling our duties to the best of our abilities while trusting that Allah will guide us to what is best for us. Patience and gratitude are two virtues that are deeply intertwined in the Quranic teachings and serve as essential qualities for navigating the ups and downs of life. These qualities are not merely responses to life's challenges, but rather profound ways of aligning ourselves with Allah's will and trusting His divine plan. Patience, as the Quran teaches, is not simply about enduring difficulty, it is about maintaining faith in Allah during times of hardship, remaining steadfast and continuing to perform our duties with sincerity, even when the road ahead seems uncertain. Likewise, gratitude is not just about expressing thanks when things are going well, but recognizing Allah's blessings in all circumstances, even during times of struggle. When combined, patience and gratitude create a powerful foundation for spiritual growth and resilience, enabling us to face life's difficulties with a heart full of trust in Allah. The Quran teaches us that trials are an inevitable part of life. Allah says, "Do not think those who rejoice for what they have done and love to be praised for what they did is think they are in the clear. Rather, they are in the punishment of Allah." Allah Imran 3:188. The presence of trials, hardships, and difficulties does not mean that Allah is displeased with us or that we are being punished. Instead, it is part of the divine wisdom of Allah. He tests us to purify our hearts, strengthen our faith, and prepare us for the rewards of the hereafter. Patience in the face of trials is not about suppressing our emotions or pretending that we are unaffected. Rather, it is about maintaining trust in Allah's plan and continuing to seek His pleasure, even when the situation is difficult. The Prophet Muhammad PBUH said, "How amazing is the affair of the believer, for his affairs are always good. If something good happens to him, he thanks Allah, and that is better for him. If something harmful happens to him, he is patient, and that is better for him." Sahih Muslim. This hadith reminds us that no matter the circumstances, there is always a way to turn towards Allah for growth, either through gratitude or patience. When we endure hardship with patience, we are showing our trust in Allah's timing and His wisdom. The Quran tells us that those who are patient in adversity will be rewarded in ways beyond measure. Indeed, the patient will be given their reward without account. Az-Zumar 39:10. The patience we practice is not just for the sake of enduring, it is for the sake of Allah. Our trust in Him strengthens our ability to remain patient, for we know that every trial, no matter how difficult, is an opportunity for growth, for purification, and for earning Allah's mercy. Gratitude, on the other hand, is a way of acknowledging Allah's favors, even in the midst of difficulties. It is easy to be grateful when everything is going well, when we have wealth, good health, and peace in our lives. But the true test of gratitude comes when things are not going as we expect. Allah reminds us in the Quran, "And remember when your Lord proclaimed, 'If you give thanks by accepting faith and worship, I will give you more of my blessings, but if you are thankless, that is ungrateful, verily my punishment is indeed severe.'" Ibrahim 14:7. This verse teaches us that gratitude is not just an outward expression, it is an inward acknowledgement of the countless blessings Allah has bestowed upon us, even in the midst of difficulty. Gratitude in hardship is a recognition that Allah's wisdom governs every aspect of our lives, and that His plan for us is always filled with mercy, even when we cannot immediately see it. Gratitude also elevates our state of mind. It shifts our focus away from what we lack and towards what we have. In times of hardship, it is easy to become consumed with what is wrong or missing in our lives. However, when we choose to focus on the blessings we still have, no matter how small they seem, we begin to cultivate a sense of peace and contentment. The act of being grateful, even in difficult times, transforms our hearts. It reminds us that Allah's mercy is always with us, even when the path is not easy. Together, patience and gratitude create a sense of balance. When we encounter hardships, patience allows us to endure without losing hope or becoming bitter, and gratitude allows us to recognize the blessings, both big and small, that are still present. This balance helps us maintain our connection with Allah and stay grounded in our faith, trusting that with every difficulty comes the opportunity for growth, and with every blessing comes a responsibility to appreciate and acknowledge it. The ultimate lesson we learn from trusting in Allah's plan is that there is a greater purpose to every experience we go through, even when we don't immediately understand it. Life is filled with moments of uncertainty, where we may find ourselves questioning the direction we are heading or wondering if we are on the right path. It is in these moments when we feel lost or uncertain that we are called to remember the profound wisdom behind Allah's design. Allah's plan for us is always filled with mercy, even when we cannot see the whole picture. His wisdom surpasses our understanding, and every step we take is part of a much larger tapestry that is being woven in ways we cannot fully comprehend. When we surrender to Allah's will and trust His plan, we are acknowledging that He is the best of planners and that His knowledge of our past, present, and future is perfect. Every trial and tribulation that we face is an opportunity for us to draw closer to Allah. In times of hardship, we are given the chance to turn to Allah in sincere supplication, to deepen our faith and to build resilience. It is during these moments that we are reminded of the fragility of our existence and the absolute power of Allah. The Qur'an tells us, "Do not kill yourselves. Surely Allah is merciful to you." An-Nisa 4:29. This verse is a reminder that in moments of despair, when we feel overwhelmed by life's difficulties, we should not give in to hopelessness. Instead, we should remember that our struggles have a greater purpose in Allah's grand design. Allah's mercy surrounds us, even in our darkest hours, and He will never abandon us. When we trust Allah's plan, we also learn to appreciate the wisdom of His timing. We may want things to happen immediately, or we may feel that we know what is best for us. However, Allah's timing is always perfect. His plan unfolds at the moment when we are truly ready to receive it. Allah says in the Quran, "Indeed Allah is the best of planners." Imran 3:54. We might not see it at the time, but the delay, the struggle, or the challenge is often what shapes us and prepares us for what is to come. In the same way that a seed must go through stages of growth before it can bear fruit, we must go through phases of difficulty to achieve the blessings that Allah has in store for us. When we trust in His plan, we can have patience, knowing that what is meant for us will never pass us by, and what is not meant for us will be replaced with something better. Trusting in Allah's plan also frees us from the burden of constantly striving for control. It alleviates the pressure of needing to have all the answers and allows us to surrender to the flow of life with confidence in the divine wisdom behind each moment. Allah does not ask us to know the future or to have all the answers. He asks us to trust in Him and to remain patient as His plan unfolds. This trust allows us to approach life's challenges with a sense of peace and security, knowing that we are in the hands of the most merciful and wise Creator. When we place our trust in Allah, we no longer feel the need to carry the weight of the world on our shoulders. We can focus on doing what is within our control, maintaining our faith, following the path of righteousness, and leaving the rest to Allah. Moreover, trusting in Allah's plan encourages us to embrace the unknown with a heart full of hope. The future is uncertain, and life often takes unexpected turns. But when we trust that Allah's plan is always for our benefit, we are able to face the future with courage rather than fear. Allah promises us in the Quran that whoever fears Allah, He will make a way for him to get out from every difficulty, and He will provide him from sources he never could imagine. At-Talaq 65:2-3. This verse reassures us that even in moments of uncertainty, when we feel that all hope is lost, Allah's plan will always provide a way out. The future is full of potential, and by trusting in Allah's plan, we open ourselves to the blessings that await us, even when they come in forms we did not expect. Through trust in Allah's plan, we begin to see every moment, every trial, and every blessing as part of a greater divinely orchestrated journey. We learn to surrender our own desires, knowing that what Allah has chosen for us is far better than what we could have imagined. This trust strengthens our relationship with Allah, as we begin to recognize His presence in every aspect of our lives, finding comfort in the knowledge that He is always with us, guiding us toward what is best for us.